Whew, boy, it is chilly. But you know, I love this time of year. Fires crackling, presents under the tree, all of the mandatory family time you can stand, and boy do I have a lot to be thankful for. For example, just what's that? It's not Christmas time? Is it Thanksgiving? Oh, it's Halloween. Well, that's okay. I love Halloween too, and I still have a ton to be thankful for regardless of what time of year it is. For example, I just got a lot accomplished on the CarTrek Mercedes 300 TD wagon, and I'd love to show you what I've done. So let me bring it out here and let's get started. Welcome everyone to the Halloween special. And as I was saying, I have a lot to be thankful for regardless of what time of year it is, especially when it comes to all of the progress that has been made on the CarTrek 300 TD here. And that comes in the way of quality of life improvements. Let me show you what I mean. If you remember seeing this car in CarTrek 5, you'll remember that these wipers were both stuck up vertically in place and totally useless. Well now, as you can see, they are not stuck in place and you can see a little bit. But it goes a little further. Check this out. Now they actually wipe. So that means on a dark and stormy and foggy night like this, I'll actually be able to see. But the improvements don't stop there. Take a look on the inside and see what else has changed. You know, one of the things I never mentioned that didn't work on this car was the radio. The entire drive home from Atlanta was dead silent. But that's no longer the case. Check this out. You hear that? I don't think an 80s sound system has ever sounded this good. You know, I'd like to think this is probably what I would have been listening to in 1983 if I'd bought this car brand new. You know, just driving around with the family, maybe going to the park, perhaps going to the movies. God, radio. You know, I didn't miss this. All right, well, I'm gonna have to cut this out, but what is this?
This is the Wichita Emergency Alert System. This is not a test. Police have issued this special announcement for the Wichita area. There is a confirmed report of creatures attacking this area. Experts have identified them as zombies. Officials recommend that everyone evacuate Wichita immediately. This message will repeat.
All right, well, that sounds like something I'm actually gonna have to deal with, so let me see what's going on. Okay, if there's really zombies, they're probably gonna show up on the camera, I'd guess. I don't know, let's see what we got here. Oh my God, there's somebody walking towards the door. Holy crap, there's like 16 of them out there. That's not even a joke. All right, okay, not good, not good. Let's check the front, let's check the front. Oh my gosh. And here I was worried about this take being ruined. All right, they're at the front door too. All right, this is a real genuine problem now. I'm trapped. I have nowhere to go. There's only one other place. Okay, that's clear. That's good. But now we have to figure out what vehicle to escape this zombie apocalypse in. Okay, we need to figure out which car to take. What would Tyler Hoover do? Now, he would probably just go out the wrong door and immediately get infected. Now, what would Doug DeMuro do? Now, he would come up calmly with a methodical and numerical way to decide which of his cars would best suit this situation. And that's exactly what I've done. Introducing the Z score, Z for zombies, obviously. Now, in this chart, I've outlined 4 key categories for this exact situation that are the most important things to consider when deciding which vehicle you're gonna drive. I've broken them down like this. Reliability speaks for itself. The car needs to start. Performance, not as important as you might think, but still, you know, something to consider. Practicality, very important. It's gotta fit your bags and other survival essentials in there. Style, now this is the most important category by far when selecting your zombie vehicle. It's got to blend in. Now, let's get right to it and see where these cars stack up. First up is the BMW, or the FreeMW as I lovingly call it, and let's get right to it. As far as reliability goes, this car is good, not great. It is a BMW after all, and it's leaking from every orifice, and this is a zombie apocalypse, so it gets a 5 in reliability. Next up is performance. I'm sure it was okay for the 90s, but the fact is this car is 190 horsepower and it might as well weigh as much as an SUV. Not exactly what you're looking for when there's a horde of zombies chasing after you. It gets a 4 in performance. Next up is practicality. It is a sedan, so you can haul a little bit more stuff, but it's not exactly an SUV or anything big, so it gets a 4 in practicality as well. Lastly, style. Now this has exactly what you want in a zombie apocalypse situation. The paint's already scuffed up, it's already kind of a green, non-flashy color. Nobody's gonna look twice at this car, and it gets an 8 in the style category. Add them all up and the Z-score is 21. Not bad, but I also don't know what it means in terms of the other cars, so let's go to the next car. All right, now this is what I'm talking about. This is the getaway car, right? Well, let's see how it stacks up with the Z-score. Starting with the reliability category, this is an Italian car and we are in an emergency situation. Not to mention, this particular Maserati is held together with zip ties and in-house fabricated parts. But it does seem to start for me every time, so it gets a 3 in reliability. Next up is the performance category, and this one's a no-brainer. This car is fast as heck and it could outrun any zombie. It gets an easy 10 out of 10 there. Now, up to practicality. This is not a good score for this car. It has minuscule back seats. You can't really hold much in the cabin anyway. It does have a trunk, but it doesn't have a trunk liner, so it gets a 1 out of practicality. Next up is the style, and while this thing looks cool on a normal day, it is the worst choice you could possibly have when there's zombies at the door. It's flashy, it's loud, not to mention there's a spoiler back here that 3 or 4 zombies could easily hold on to, and you do not want to be bringing those guys with you. So it gets a 1 in the style category. Add it all up and the Z-score is 15. Ugh. So far, 2 cars down, and the Maserati didn't do as well as I thought it would, but I hear more banging at the door, so let's keep this moving. Next up, the Mercedes 300 TD. Now this thing already looks like it's been through a few zombie apocalypses in its day, but let's see how it stacks up on the chart. First thing is reliability. If you look up reliability in the dictionary, you're probably going to see a picture of one of these. They're basically designed to run in the desert on nothing but kerosene and sand, so it gets an easy 10 out of 10 in the Z-score for that category. Next up is the performance category, and this car is dead slow. It would barely outrun even the slowest of zombies, so it's not exactly an ideal getaway vehicle. It gets a 1 in that category. Now, next up is practicality. It's a wagon and all of the seats fold down. You can carry as much as you want in this car. It's an easy 10 out of 10 in that category. Now, next up is style, and this car has it where it counts for a zombie apocalypse vehicle. It's from the early 80s. Nobody looks twice at it. It's a kind of beige color. It already looks kind of abandoned. Well, gets an easy 10 out of 10 there. Nobody's breaking into this car, and that's a good thing because the locks don't work. Add it all up, and the Z-score is 31. Looks like we have a new leader on the Z-score board, but the chart's not over yet. Let's bring out the last vehicle. And lastly, we have the Volvo V70R. Now, I don't want to lead the score here, but I think this has what it takes to be the ultimate zombie apocalypse vehicle. Starting out with the reliability category, when these are working, they work great, but they have a lot of electrical gremlins, as I've found out, so it gets an 8 out of 10. Next up is the performance category, and this car has what it takes. It has a potent 5-cylinder motor and it has all-wheel drive, meaning that you're going to be fast and you can do it in any kind of weather. It's an easy 10 out of 10 on the Z-score. Next up is the practicality category, and this one's an easy one. It's a wagon. It'll hold your stuff, it'll hold your hammocks, it'll hold your water jugs, everything you'll need for this situation. It's an easy 10 out of 10. Lastly, there's style, and this car is perfect for that. It's a wagon, so people don't look twice at it, and it already looks abandoned because it's been abandoned. It's like it's been preparing for this role its whole life. This car gets an easy 10 out of 10 in the Z-score. Add it all up, and the Z-score is 38. Well, there you have it. This is the obvious winner. So says the Z-score. But one major problem. This particular Volvo does not run, and it's on wheel skates. And according to that noise at the door, I've got to go right now, which makes the Mercedes the winner. So let's leave.